The sun cast a golden hue over the massive Hollywood film set, its light reflecting off the towering cameras, sleek trailers, and bustling crew members moving like clockwork. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Another blockbuster was in the making. Extras in full costume walked to their marks. Cinematographers adjusted their lenses, and assistants hurried to meet the demanding pace of the high-budget production. But amid all the controlled chaos, something was brewing. Something that would soon send shockwaves through the entire industry. Before we dive deeper into this gripping and emotional story, let us know where you're watching from today. And if tales of courage, action, and standing up for what's right inspire you, don't forget to subscribe to Story Dash. Soon we'll share another story that will leave you speechless. At the center of the commotion, a woman in her late 40s moved swiftly, her dark skin glistening under the hot stage lights. She wore a simple crew uniform, black jeans, a work shirt, and a utility belt filled with tools. Her name was Angela, a behind-the-scenes veteran who had spent over 20 years working on sets, ensuring that everything ran smoothly. She wasn't an actress. She wasn't a star. But today she would be at the center of a scene more intense than anything written in the script. Standing in front of her, a red-faced director, known for his fiery temper, gestured wildly, his voice sharp and venomous. "I said now, not 10 minutes from now," he barked, glaring at Angela. "How hard is it to follow basic instructions?" Angela swallowed hard, keeping her head down. I just needed a moment to—" "Enough with the excuses," the director interrupted, stepping closer, his presence looming over her. "You crew people are all the same, incompetent and slow." The insult hung in the air like thick smog. Several crew members froze in place, stealing uneasy glances at each other but staying silent. The unwritten rule of the industry was clear. No one challenged the director. If you wanted to keep your job, you looked the other way. But not everyone played by Hollywood's rules. A chair scraped against the pavement. A deep, unmistakable voice sliced through the tension. "You're going to want to take a step back." Jason Statham had entered the scene. The director's eyes flicked up, his expression shifting from rage to mild surprise, as Jason Statham, an actor famous for both his on-screen and real-life toughness, stepped forward. Dressed in a simple black t-shirt and cargo pants, Jason's presence alone was commanding. He had seen everything. The shouting, the insults, the intimidation, and he wasn't about to let it slide. Angela looked up in shock, her eyes darting between Jason and the director. Crew members started whispering amongst themselves, cameras half forgotten in their hands. The director scoffed, "This doesn't concern you, Statham." Jason tilted his head slightly, his expression calm but lethal. "It does now." The director huffed, shaking his head. "You actors think you run the show. This is my set." Jason took another step closer, his voice dropping to a dangerous tone. "That woman is here working just like everyone else. She deserves respect. What she doesn't deserve is some power-drunk director screaming in her face." The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. The director sneered, crossing his arms. "Oh, please. She's just crew. No one cares about—" The words barely left his mouth before Jason moved. With lightning-fast reflexes, Jason grabbed the director's collar and yanked him forward just enough to make him stumble. He didn't throw a punch. He didn't need to. Jason's voice was low and razor-sharp. "Say that again." The director's arrogance crumbled in an instant, his face flushed pale, his bravado evaporating as the realization set in. Jason wasn't acting. Jason released him, pushing him back slightly. The director staggered but said nothing. The entire set was dead silent. The cameras weren't rolling, but every single person was watching. Jason turned to Angela, his expression softened. "You all right?" Angela, still shocked, nodded. Yeah." Jason nodded once before turning back to the director. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to apologize. Right now." The director hesitated, but Jason's unwavering stare left no room for negotiation. I'm sorry," the director mumbled. Jason raised an eyebrow, Louder. The director swallowed his pride. "I'm sorry," he said, clearly this time. Angela said nothing, but the gratitude in her eyes spoke volumes. Jason turned to the crew. "This happen a lot?" There was a long pause. Then one by one the crew nodded. Jason exhaled, shaking his head. "Not anymore." The director scoffed. "What do you mean, not anymore?" Jason's next words shook Hollywood to its core. "I'm done," he said simply. "Find someone else to finish your movie." Gasps rippled through the set. The director's eyes widened in horror. You can't just walk out. You're under contract." Jason gave a small, almost amused smile. "Watch me." And with that, he turned and walked off the set. No drama, no shouting, just a man standing by his principles. Angela watched him go, her heart pounding. A moment ago, she had felt small, invisible. But now someone had stood up for her. And not just anyone, Jason Statham. As Jason walked toward the parking lot, his phone buzzed. He glanced down, a breaking news notification. His name was already trending. Statham walks off set after confronting abusive director. Social media was exploding. Fans and industry insiders reacting with shock and praise. Jason sighed, shaking his head with a smirk. He hadn't done it for the headlines. He had done it because it was the right thing to do. The fallout was immediate. Within hours, headlines exploded across the internet. Jason Statham walks off Hollywood set after confronting abusive director. Actor refuses to work with disrespectful crew treatment. Statham stands up for behind-the-scenes workers. Fans praise his courage. The industry was shaken. Some actors issued statements of support. Others stayed silent. But one thing was certain. Jason Statham had made a statement louder than any stunt, fight scene, or box office hit. Angela never forgot that day. Neither did Hollywood. Would you have done what Jason did? Let us know in the comments. And if you love this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Story Dash for more action-packed, unforgettable tales. Because sometimes, real heroes don't need scripts. They just do what's right.